Hey there, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Saturday to everyone. Well, unless you're watching this as a recording. So, we are discussing symptoms. Kashima was just telling me some of the things that she had going on, and we were trying to say, okay, well, how does that relate and what does it relate to? Because a lot of times, what happens, we have these symptoms, we just brush it off or take a medication and we don't pay attention to it, but we're missing valuable clues. So,
Yeah. Well, first of
what
all,
happened?
before the full-blown effect of symptoms, there's usually little signs,
Little clues.
that will pop up, and then most of us just ignore it or brush it off and say, oh, it's just something that happens every once in a while, or you just completely ignore it because you're in denial that it's even happening in the first place. So just specifically for me, since I've been through my health journey and still going through my health journey, I have become so hyper aware of my body and the symptoms and the things that are being pointed out to me, because I realized that that was what gave me the opportunity to seek out health in the first place, and healthier options, and doing everything that I could do to optimize my health. So last night we went out to dinner, and we go to this restaurant that we go to very regularly, and it's because they cater to our specific needs. Now, it's an Asian restaurant, so for me, I already know that I have a sensitivity to, it's actually an allergy to soy, and my body reacts very badly to soy.
And there's nothing that they don't use soy with.
Exactly, in an
right.
Asian, but I love Asian food. So the other one is gluten. So because I know those are my two big ones, they alter the food specifically for me. They even have special sauces there that they keep there. So anytime we go in, they use those sauces.
They actually prepare the food with those sauces. So
Yes.
they literally prepare everything differently.
Yes. So if you're ever in that situation and there's somewhere that you go to regularly, trust me, if you ask, they will kindly accommodate you, because they want your business and they appreciate your patronage. So they do. And we went there last night and everything was fine. And then I got home last night and I just started itching all over. And remember, I was telling you, my arms were itching, my legs were itching. I was getting like little bumps on my arms. And I knew instantly that I had eaten something that I wasn't supposed to eat. And more than likely, something happened, because you never know, who's actually making the food, because it could be a different cook, somebody that doesn't really know. So, you hope that in a situation like that, everybody is on board, but then you never really know what's going on.
Right.
So obviously something happened somewhere in the process where I was introduced to something that I shouldn't have eaten, and it popped up right away, my symptoms, and I noticed it right away. I didn't just say, oh yeah, I'm itching, and then scratch, and then it's passed and it's out of my mind. So this morning I woke up and I kind of go through like a
Inventory, like a checklist?
Like an inventory, like a checklist of how do I feel this morning? Because usually, for me at least, in the mornings is when I will be able to tell the most how I feel, rather than throughout the day, because so much is going on throughout the day and you're just busy and you're
she actually tries to do it to me. It's like, oh, your eyes are a little bit puffy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's usually it's usually more accurate in the morning, because your body is settled in, and you're supposed to be sleeping and repairing, right? That's the purpose of sleep. So when you wake up and you don't feel well, that's a for sure check light. That's like you call it your check engine
Your
light.
check engine light.
That's like that check engine light red on your thing. It's not blinking anymore. It's solid.
Yes.
So, see, I'm still itching.
Yeah.
So this morning I woke up and I'm going through my checklist, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really feel any aches and pains that I usually feel when I have gluten, so I know it's not gluten. So I took gluten out the picture completely because I know how I feel with gluten. So it has to be some type of soy or soy derivative, because I did have some inflammation. You can still see in my eyes I have inflammation in here, and I'm not gonna show you inside my eye itself, but there's some swelling in there as well. So I know how my body reacts to certain things because I've been doing this for a while now. So
Now,
don't ignore what you feel, notice it, and then go back and backtrack and say, hey, what did I do yesterday? Or what did I do, because it usually takes like sometimes if it's a real allergy, it'll be instantaneous, but
Right.
most times it's not instantly.
Yeah, but here's the challenge. The reason why you're able to do that is because, you have gotten to a place where you're feeling pretty good. So now when something feels off, you notice it.
Right.
Most people, and this is where you were, if you remember,
Yes.
most people, they have so many check engine lights on all the time.
It's hard for it to narrow down.
You can't decipher it, right?
Yeah.
So you have to get to a place where you're symptom free, and then you can notice, what some things. And so it's very difficult for people because they're having aches and pains. They're having to clear their throat all the time, or they may have some itching, and it's one thing after another. One day is this, and another day is this, and another day is this. So it's like they have no idea, and so they're not able to pinpoint what the issue
caused
is,
it,
right?
right.
Okay, was it the fried chicken and the oil that they use? Was it the bread? Was it the oh well, I did have a drink the other night, blah blah. But they're feeling horrible every day, and there's always something. So it's very difficult to figure out. Now, if you're at baseline, and then something new happens,
Right.
and it's like itching or whatever. Oh, I don't usually itch. Then maybe you can figure that out. But the key is really to get to a point where you're doing pretty good, you're symptom free, and then you can do that, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why it's so important to have the foundations, because without that, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't have gotten to a point where I can narrow it down.
Right.
Like I have it to a point where I was for years, I had this itching on my back, just my back, and my scalp, my back and my scalp for years, and I couldn't figure out. Like I was like, maybe it's the detergent I'm using, maybe it's the shampoo, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, all topical things.
Right. But you also were having issues with your nails. You had this bump that was on your finger that was painful, and it would come back like every month.
Yeah.
And then you had
And there was so
many things.
so many things.
Right.
But one in particular I'm talking about, I thought I could attribute it to topical things,
Right.
things that I was putting on my skin, because to me, if you have itching or a skin reaction, it's more likely something that you're putting on your skin, right? Something that you're coming into contact with. So that's where my focus was. Guess what it was?
What was it?
Bananas.
Really?
Yes. I never told you that?
No.
Yes, bananas. So I would eat bananas all the time, almost every day I would eat bananas. But then I would also have, because my family is Caribbean, we have
the
plantain.
plantains.
And that's a banana.
Right.
Or green banana. That's
Right.
a banana. So that's what it was.
How'd you figure out it was bananas?
I stopped eating them. Process of elimination. There you go.
See,
you could do it. You could do it yourself.
Yeah.
But it was process of elimination because we did the food sensitivity test, and when we did the food sensitivity test, bananas came up as an allergy.
That's what I was
But
getting to.
Yes, but when I eliminated bananas from my diet, that's when I realized, because I had bananas again after that.
Right.
And then the symptom came back, and I'm like, oh, It's the bananas.
Right. But if it wasn't for the food sensitivity test, you would have never even thought
I wouldn't
to
have
eliminate.
eliminated exactly.
Because bananas are healthy, like, you know, and so
Right.
people are eating healthy things that they're reacting to.
Yes.
Because their immune system is hyper reactive. And so,
Right.
you know, there's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah.
What I recommend to anyone that's having symptoms and you're trying to figure things out, keep a journal of your symptoms. I think that that is just so powerful. Keep a journal.
is.
Write down whatever symptom that you're trying to track, write those things down. And also keep a food journal, because if you keep a food journal and a symptom journal, then you can look at patterns over the week, and that's how you really can dial it in, especially when you're having so many things going on. And I think that that's really, really powerful.
Yes, but another thing is to look for some help and guidance too.
Well, that's ultimate.
Yeah, because
That's ultimate. I don't want to keep saying like, oh, well, you need to have someone help you. And,
but
know.
you do because that's how I got
Well, you
through
do
what I
need it.
did.
Yeah, well, you
I
do.
couldn't do it on my own, even though I tried.
Right, right.
You know, I look things up all the time. You know, the internet has so much information, but what's going to work for me specifically, I didn't really know.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, thanks everybody. Hope you are having a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.